when I came into this YouTube thing, I came in with so much veracity, anger, and just trying to clear out all the bullshit is basically what my mission was. And with that approach in mind, I probably rubbed some people off the wrong way. And some of it with clear intention of trying to do that, some of it unintentionally. It's just my passion and anger for what I saw was going on in this specific industry. So for you specifically, hopefully this video makes sense for what my vision is and why I could still be of assistance with what you're trying to do. Because again, as a broker, there's just competition. It's like rappers. Rappers, I'm the best.
Pow.
Oh! It's like basketball players. Bro, I feel like I'm the best business loan broker, and you as a business loan broker, you should feel like you're the best.
I am the #1 most impactful
business broker, just like lawyers. You should feel like you're the best lawyer there is.
I'm just the best goddamn bird lawyer in the world.
But as we all know, there's always different approaches with everything. Just like when you go to the barbershop, not every barber is the same, even though they use the same machines. But anyway, so I was visiting my cousin in Ashburn, Virginia. Ashburn, Virginia, if you don't know, it's up there. It's in Virginia. God damn it. You can look it up. Long story short, it's known for its data centers. These data centers, you drive around the city, you see these big buildings with no windows, and you're like, what the hell are these? Because it's not normal for you to just see a building with no windows like this. So, I'm driving around and I'm seeing all of these, buildings, and my cousin is telling me about, it's known for their data centers. Like, I think, and if you don't know what data centers is, use social media. If you're on the internet right now, you're watching this video on the internet, this information has to be held somewhere, on the cloud, somewhere. There's data centers online, and being the geek that I am, if you guys didn't know, I'm a really big geek. Okay, I'm the geekiest person you ever met. I started looking up data centers. I researched AWS, Amazon Web Services. If you don't know who Amazon Web Services is, probably is the largest company when it comes to this specific field when you're talking about holding data. Everybody uses Amazon Web Services, from the CIA to the FBI to the government to Netflix to Hulu to Apple Music. Everybody uses Amazon Web Services. Now, everybody uses Amazon Web Services. Any startup, any reasonable startup. Let me see this picture right here. This kind of will show you the reach of Amazon Web Services. If you didn't know this, like I didn't, to some degree I did, but I didn't. Adobe, Philips. I mean, look at these major companies, even governments. Everybody uses Amazon Web Services. Any legitimate company out there uses Amazon Web Services. Okay? So anyway, what the hell is it? What is Amazon Web Services? And how was this company even founded? It's just so remarkable. The power of entrepreneurship is just so amazing. I found this Amazon Infinite Money Glitch, small little documentary that we're going to react to today, and you're going to see how this came about. And I'm going to connect this to Broker Solutions Academy, Path to Lending, and kind of what the vision and what I am trying to do here for brokers. And most importantly, let me go ahead and just address, you brokers. By the way, if you don't know, this video is brought to you by Pennington Consulting Group, where we always say our goal is to help you reach your goals. So if you're looking for some funding, if you're a business, if you're looking to start, grow, or even expand your business, or in need of some funding, you want to go ahead and click the link in the description below and visit us at Pennington Consulting Group. In addition to that, if you're looking to start your own business loan agency, this program is also brought to you by Broker Solutions Academy. And what we do is we help loan brokers and understand and simplify the various funding products that are available in the marketplace so they can properly serve their clients, stop the endless confusion and self-defeating pointless rat race they're currently in, and grow their business while maximizing profits by teaching them how to become a real business loan broker, not just a glorified referral partner. So definitely there's going to be a link in the description. We've worked all year long to really package this program, and it's the most comprehensive loan broker training there is. Guaranteed you're going to be successful, especially if you're going to be having me as your coach. Okay, so definitely want to check the links in the description. In addition to that, if you're interested in some of our media services, we offer YouTube editing services. I have my team. You see how great these videos are. Come on. Okay, you look at our website. You look. Look how good the websites are. And look at your website, okay? So if you're interested in having us work on your website, if you're interested in having us work on your YouTube, or even get your social media game just right, you want to go ahead and reach out to us. There's going to be a link in the description on how we can partner up together to help you grow your social media presence, your web presence, so you can position yourself for success, as I always say. So anyway, I want to get back to this documentary, and before I start this from the beginning. This is going to be a long video. Hopefully you guys are going to spend some time with me today. I want to kind of just show this short clip about how Jeff Bezos came up with the idea of AWS, Amazon Web Services. Let's go ahead and watch the short clip, and I'm going to start from the beginning.
I was in Luxembourg, and I took a tour of a 300-year-old brewery. Their business, of course, is making beer. And about 100 years ago, they were one of the first factories in Luxembourg to start using electric power to help make beer, to help in the manufacturing process. And of course, they couldn't.
Took a tour, first company ever to be using electric power to manufacture beer. Keep paying attention.
Buy the electric power off of the electric grid because there wasn't an electric grid. So they started making their own electric power. If you could make your operations more efficient or do new things with electric power, the only way to get power was to set up your own generator and become an expert in electric power generation. The important thing to notice here is that the fact that they generated their own electric power did not make their beer taste better. And what startup companies want, actually companies of all sizes, is they want to go from their idea or their vision to a successful product as quickly as possible. The problem always is that there's a lot of undifferentiated heavy lifting that gets in the middle between your idea, vision, and that successful product. The undifferentiated heavy lifting, by the way, has to be done at world-class levels of excellence, or your vision will fail.
Correct.
But it's totally undifferentiated and isn't actually making the beer taste better.
Teams inside Amazon have been...
Okay. Woo, boy, let's break that down. And let's relate that to Broker Solutions Academy. If you have a passion of becoming a business loan broker, there's just so much that you have to go through that you just don't know. And what Broker Solutions Academy offers is a clear path. I always say there's a difference between being smart and being wise. A smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. As Mr. Bezos very well explained, this beer company, part of what the issues they were having was electric power. And they spend so much resources and energy to create this, electric power. And what was the point there? It didn't make their beer taste better. So what I'm offering and what I continuously always say is structure and clarity. And I have also systems in place based on my 15 years of knowledge that I'm going to dump into you and kind of help you scale your business. There's so many different challenges as a business loan broker that you're going to go through that we can't even get into this in this short video. But I'm going to start this from the beginning so you guys can kind of see. It's a very interesting documentary here, about, Amazon, and really fell into an industry where nobody could really challenge them. The best example I can relate to Broker Solutions Academy, it's like, credit repair cloud. The credit repair industry as itself, if you know what it is, credit repair, it's disputing items off people's credit report. And the concept of it is very simple. What credit repair cloud did for the credit repair industry, or the credit repair agents, is to develop a system, a CRM, a process for clients and agents to be able to, help their clients track the progress, create the dispute letters. There was a system. There's nothing like this for brokers, and that's what Broker Solutions Academy is trying to offer. The one piece that Credit Repair Cloud was missing was, of course, the educational aspect of things, but we're trying to wrap everything up into one. I'm gonna start this documentary. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. So this
knew that if he didn't convince Jeff Bezos and the rest of the senior leadership team, it wouldn't just be a step backwards for his career at the company. Amazon would miss out on a massive market. He made his pitch. And just like that, Jeff Bezos approved it right then and there. Neither man knew it at the time, but they just started a business which, 20 years later, is worth more than $1 trillion.
Wow.
This is the story of how Andy Jassy, Jeff Bezos, and the rest of Amazon discovered one of the biggest markets in history. This is the story of Amazon Web Services.
Let's watch this together, y'all.
AWS is one of the most revolutionary ideas in the history of tech, and it's arguably the most successful second act for any major tech company. Today, the world's biggest companies rely on AWS for everything, from their storage and compute to their payroll and CRMs. And an entire generation of amazing startups that form the fabric of our everyday lives, names like Uber, Netflix, Airbnb, all owe their existence to AWS. It's not just startups either. NASA uses AWS. The literal CIA uses.
Do you see the impact of AWS? And nobody knows about this company.
This is AWS. The history of AWS is a history of the ways computing and software development and even capitalism itself have evolved over the last 20 years. And that's important. So maybe it isn't a surprise that the origin story is pretty complicated. The main reason is that it's just plain complex, especially for people who don't understand software. And that lack of society-wide understanding has allowed some false narratives to emerge. For example, there's a theory that Jeff Bezos and other senior people at Amazon got the idea for AWS because they wanted to make extra money renting out excess server capacity. It's true that Jeff Bezos was annoyed at how much Amazon was paying for server costs, but back then, almost 20 years ago, it wasn't possible to rent out capacity like it.
If I could just, for you non-techie people, if I can just make this make sense, there used to be a time when you're building applications, or if you have a company and you have a website and you have like your own internal domain and service, you have to host that stuff somewhere. Back in the day, I sound like an old man. There was servers within each office. When you went to the hospital, they had a server. There was a server room, and it was just basically a bunch of hard drives that held all the data for this company. And if you went to the police station, each station all around the US had their own servers, and they had their own network guy that, this was just a common thing. It was like, if you were a startup like Uber, if you were a startup like Amazon, your main product was to have, to create movies, and to host these movies. But you had to build this back-end server that had nothing to do with the core product. What AWS did is they just offered that service for hosting service. It was just a big internet backpack that they provided. This is before Dropbox and even Dropbox and Google Drive, believe it or not, they use AWS. Ungeeky people out there, I want you to understand what AWS really, was, and how this specific problem for Amazon became this infinite money glitch, and how this relates to Broker Solutions Academy being, how the issue that I had with understanding the different products that were in the marketplace helped me come up with the 3 paths of lending, which eventually came up with me coming up with Broker Solutions Academy, building the CRM that I built, which I'm pretty sure is being hosted by AWS because it's through Keep. But anyway, let's move on.
The storage locker. Another reason why the origin story of AWS is so complex is that it's hard to get a real sense of what goes on behind the scenes at Amazon. So you need to kind of piece it together from secondary sources. But the main reason AWS has such complex origins is because of the nature of innovation itself. We love stories about individual founders who came up with world-changing ideas that they would stick with AWS. Like I said, AWS has a complicated backstory, but that doesn't mean we can't tell the story from the beginning. To begin, let's rewind a little. A few years before Andy Jassy made his pitch to Amazon's S team. It was the late 1990s, and Amazon had a problem. It didn't look like it from the outside. Sales 4x'd between 1997 and 1998. Amazon was adding new features almost every day and hiring tons of engineers. But that insane growth was precisely the problem. Basically, Amazon was suffering from success. Internally, the company was running on what, at the time, was a traditional 2-tier architecture. On the one side, you had a monolithic application that served the pages on the website. Then, on the other side, you had a bunch of different databases that grew with every new customer, product category, and market. That architecture was basically fine when Amazon was a small online bookseller. But as Amazon expanded, that system increasingly struggled to cope. The end result was like a Jenga tower. One wrong move or one new feature that wasn't properly implemented, and everything could topple over. It was a big mess that created tons of redundancy. And those architectural constraints created real business constraints. Jeff Bezos didn't want to just sell books. He wanted Amazon to become the everything store. This problem came to a head when Amazon was hired by their competitors, the large physical retailers like Walmart and Target, to build out their e-commerce platforms. I'll let Andy Jassy explain.
There were a few things going on I'll call it between the years 2000 and 2003 that made us think this could be a good idea. The first was this business at Amazon called Merchant.com, where we sold our e-commerce technology to third-party merchants. These are companies like Target, Marks and Spencer. And when we went to deliver that solution to those companies, it turned out to be way harder and way more time-consuming than any of us imagined. And that's because we had really kind of jumbled up a bunch of parts of our platform, growing as fast as we did the first 8 years. And to deliver these through APIs, which is the way that these companies wanted to consume them, it took a lot of decoupling and a lot of work that we just hadn't thought about before.
Jassy and Bezos knew that
API, again, for you, and so it's like basically how you can connect through systems together. Like Walmart wanted to sell on the Amazon platform, so they have to connect the Walmart, let's just say, systems and inventory of products and whatever it is to the Amazon system, through API. That's what that means for you and techie people.
the legacy architecture put a hard limit on Amazon's future. In fact, it was already eating into its margins. And
I'm gonna forward it a little bit.
or SOA. In software, a service is something that's designed to complete a specific task, like executing an operation or retrieving some information. In the case of Amazon, it might have been something like fulfilling an order or delivering it to the customer. Services allow different business functions to be performed remotely and independently. In other words, they're modular and flexible, ideal for a company that wants to scale quickly. SOA is just the name for all those different services working together. If that still doesn't make a whole lot of sense, don't worry. Here's an analogy. For Amazon, transitioning to service-oriented architecture was like going from building on top of a Jenga tower to building with Lego blocks. Jenga was delicate and fragile. Any new feature or change to an existing feature and the whole thing could collapse. But Lego is different. The blocks fit together perfectly. They're reusable, and they're almost impossible to break. The Distributed Computing Manifesto was a blueprint for a different kind of company. It would go on to influence Jeff Bezos' thinking as he considered how to modernize Amazon's architecture. He met with people who urged him to embrace APIs as a way of opening Amazon to outside developers. He had long conversations with his most trusted employees, including Andy Jassy. He read books about architecture design. And then, after months of absorbing advice and information, Bezos made a call. It was time to take a hammer to the existing monolithic architecture. It was time to embrace SOA. Bezos knew it would be one of the biggest leadership challenges of his career, because it's no exaggeration to say it could make the difference between Amazon being a trillion-dollar company or just another internet retailer lost in the mists of time. The distributed...
And by the way, if you don't know, this is the most profitable Amazon business there is. Way more profitable than Amazon.com. This is where they make it. They have no competitors, really, in a sense, in this specific field.
Best known for accidentally publishing an internal Google Plus memo in October of 2011. In the post, which was mostly criticizing Google, Yege talks about the Bezos memo. He talks about how it was a major turning point in Jeff Bezos' thinking about Amazon's architecture, which therefore makes it a pivotal moment in the history of AWS. So let's break it down. What does it mean and why does it matter? Okay, so the first thing to understand is that when Bezos was talking about service interfaces, he was talking about APIs. Very quick, hyper-simplified crash course. An API, or application programming interface, is a mechanism that allows two different software components to talk to each other according to set rules. For example, whenever you open the weather app on your phone, it pulls the current data from the Weather Bureau's software system using an API. For Amazon, customer-facing APIs help to do things like create rankings, offer customer recommendations, and retrieve saved customer details. They're like Lego blocks, small, modular, unbreakable. Bezos believed APIs were the way forward for Amazon.
How am I and of course, maybe a lot of you brokers probably thinking that, man, this guy think his head is getting even bigger now. Because he's comparing his company to AWS. Well, to a degree I am. And no, my head is not getting bigger, but I'm trying to emphasize as to what I'm trying to offer you brokers that are on the verge as far as working with me, because you feel, what am I going to truly gain from this relationship? And what you gain from this relationship is, again, just the structure. I've been through the trials and tribulations, and I know the setup. I even understand, one of the biggest issues with brokers is you spend your time marketing, and you get business, and then now you're busy, servicing the business that you have, and then next thing you know, you don't have any more business. How do you create these automations needed in order for you to constantly be marketing to your clients? How do you have there's all this techie shit that is needed, and that's the foundation that I'm providing you for you to be able to have the structure, the foundation, the clarity, the structure of a really proper business, the proper foundation, the clarity of the different products that are out there in the marketplace, the systems in place for you to pre-qualify, for you to reach out to your client properly and effectively, while still protecting your integrity as a business loan broker, while still executing it in a professional manner, so you don't lack the professionalism that we must all have in this industry. But anyway.
Amazon. He'd even created a team within Amazon whose sole purpose was creating them to share with third-party developers. That led directly to incorporating APIs into Merchant.com. Almost immediately, developers came up with innovative ways.
So in a sense, I'm trying to APA us together, okay?
Ways to display the product catalog on their site.
I'm trying to be a resource to your business. I'm not trying to replace your business, but I'm trying to give you some insight on how you can execute and
those advances and the progress that Amazon was making building APIs inspired Bezos to go a step further. He figured that if Amazon could build a solution like that and transition from its monolithic architecture to service-oriented architecture, maybe the company itself should follow the same pattern. Think about how profound change this was. As Yige pointed out in his accidentally public memo, organizing into services taught teams not to trust each other in most of the same ways they're not supposed to trust external developers. It sounds completely counterintuitive, but it was precisely the lack of trust that made it work. All of a sudden, every team within Amazon had to interact using these so-called hardened interfaces. If you were HR and needed some numbers from the marketing department, guess what? You had to build an interface to retrieve the numbers. It was a totally scalable, decentralized system. Hundreds of individual Lego blocks. Once you truly understand the implications of what Bezos was trying to do, you realize that he was shifting Amazon onto the path that culminated with the creation of AWS. One of the best decisions Amazon made right around this time was hiring Alan Vermeulen. Vermeulen wound up becoming Amazon's CTO, but his first job was to build tools that disentangled Amazon's messy code base and separated it into hardened interfaces that individual teams could incorporate into their work without worrying if they were going to break everything. There's a term in software engineering known as Conway's Law. In its general form, it says that the technical infrastructure you build will mirror the structure of your organization. I don't know if Jeff Bezos knew about Conway's Law. He probably did. He's a smart guy. Either way, he was enacting Conway's technical assistant, part chief, than an F-16. That's a great hook. From there, Amazon's core disparate threads. They were all 2 years before my time.
And I think we're going to wrap it up. If you want to watch the full video of this, please, there's going to be a link in the description. This is a powerful speech. I think this is when Jeff kind of realized what he was building.
Teams inside Amazon have been spending too much time doing things that didn't make their beer taste any better. And if that was happening at Amazon, then it must have been happening everywhere
else. As a business loan broker, stop doing things that's not making your beer taste better.
Don't do it.
Meaning your clients are not getting the best experience, okay? I'm gonna wrap that up right there. I think if you wanna watch this video, watch the full extent of this video, very powerful video, but hopefully I'm reaching out to some of you brokers that are still on the edge. And I'm making this video, I launched my course in August of last year, of 2023. I currently have 20 students. I launched the agency course. Of course, Commission Cheat Code, which are the agent training. I'm soon about to launch the Credit Card Stacking Academy, and then also I'll be launching the Credit Repair Academy, Credit Consulting Academy as well. Why am I showing you this and being as transparent? One of the things that I'm doing, very big, a long-term vision that I have with Broker Solutions Academy. I need people that can help me get there. So, I'm looking for brokers that are, people that can be my helping hand. I'm looking for great students that can take the course. So if you're interested, really huge discount. There's going to be discounted prices in the link below. And then also, if you're somebody that can truly understand this vision and want to meet up and kind of see how you can fit into the pie with what I'm trying to do here, definitely you want to reach out. Let's discuss what I'm doing. Watch some of my material and think about exactly what I'm trying to execute, because I think this vision is clearly much bigger than me. And I'll definitely need some assistance in order to help me get to where I'm trying to get this to be. I'm trying to create standards for this industry, because it's an amazing industry. It's a very lucrative industry, but with the lack of regulation and just the way the industry is currently set up, there's some things that need some structure, needs to be set up correctly, and that's what we're missing. So anyway, don't want to make this long. I appreciate you for joining me today. I'll see you on the next one. Anyway, if you stay with me through the end, I appreciate you. I really do. Please go ahead and give me a like to the video, subscribe to the channel. And I guess I should go ahead and pay some bills. Let you know what this video is brought to you by our sponsor, Broker Solutions Academy. There's going to be a link in the description. We work with people that are interested in becoming a business loan broker. We have a very comprehensive business loan broker course, and we're going to be teaching you everything you need to know about how to become a business loan broker. Our mission statement is we help business loan brokers understand and simplify the various funding solutions that are available in the marketplace so you can properly serve your clients, stop the endless confusion and self-defeating pointless rat race they're currently in, and grow their business while maximizing profits by teaching them how to become a real business loan broker, not just a referral partner. This video is also brought to you by Pennington Consulting Group, and that's where we work directly with entrepreneurs and also business owners to help them get funded. So if you're looking to start, grow, or even expand your current business, Pennington Consulting Group, there's going to be a link in the description where you can go ahead and schedule a time. And like we always say at Pennington Consulting Group, our goal is to help you reach your goal. Again, thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video.